Dependency this Sunday from 10 a.m. Listen live on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories. We change lives. We change lives.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to Eye on Dependency. Right here on I-95.5, the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. Good morning, Natasha.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Eye on Dependency. We have a very packed show this morning for you. We have two of the top officials from the Immigration Division who are going to tell us all about what they do and how they do it, and hopefully give you some insight as to how the division has changed to serve you, what kind of services they offer, and how they are improving the quality of service that they deliver to the citizens and residents of Trinidad and Tobago.
So we have Acting Deputy Chief Immigration Officer Derek Craigwell and Vera Persad. The Immigration Division is responsible for the control of persons entering and leaving Trinidad and Tobago and the issue of travel documents, both locally and at Trinidad and Tobago missions overseas. And as soon as we get and get over that first hurdle, then we have the work permit section who will join us, Acting Administrative Officer 2 and Head of the Work Permit Section, Ministry of National Security. We have a video call with Ms. Natasha Sudeen-Lewis. Mr. Craigwell, Persad, good morning and welcome to Dependency on I-95.5.
Good morning to both of you. A pleasant Sunday morning, as well as we want to say the viewing and listening audience tuned into this program, a good morning to them. It is a pleasure to be here, and we are grateful for the opportunity to share our knowledge on the services provided by the Immigration Division. I'm sure many persons only visit an immigration office to apply for a passport, but we are here to remind you we do much more than that.
We cannot wait to hear. Mr. Craigwell?
Good morning. A pleasant Sunday morning to you, Garth and Natasha, to your listenership and your Facebook listeners as well. Thank you for the invitation to come this morning to outline the role and function of the Immigration Division and what can one expect in the future in this division. Thank you.
And also say pleasant morning to our Chief Immigration Officer.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much for allowing us this opportunity to speak with your folks here this morning. So
We can start off a little bit, tell us a little bit about the many offices that the Immigration Division manages across the country. It's more than just the main office.
Of course.
Well, before we get into that though, tell us about your tenure at immigration. How long, we can start with you, Ms. Persad, how long you have been at immigration?
Well, this will be a surprise. It's just over 32 years in the division. Wow. I joined in June 1989, same as my colleague here, and he will talk a bit about himself more too.
And well, you're from San Fernando, Port of Spain?
I am from Charleville, Chaguanas, originally from Tabaquite.
Oh.
And yes.
Country girl.
Country girl, at heart.
Welcome. Craigwell?
I have been at the Immigration Division since June 1989, so I don't need for you to count the number of years I've been there. I was originally from Lower Santa Cruz, and I know I live in Cunupia.
Cunupia, good. So, folks, let's get down to business, because as I said, we have a lot to say and show you. Again, folks, we have demonstrations for you via our Facebook and YouTube channel. We'll, of course, describe what we are showing for you. All right, so, Tasha?
Yeah. The offices, the locations where persons can access services, and some of the other amenities that the division provides.
To facilitate our role in the immigration division, we have immigration offices located throughout Trinidad and Tobago, including the airports and seaports. Our head office is located at Government Campus Plaza, numbers 3 to 9 Richmond Street, Port of Spain, whilst our other offices are located at number 2 Knox Street, San Fernando, Agricola Building, Wilson Road, Scarborough, Tobago, number 135 Henry Street, Port of Spain, that's where our enforcement unit is located. We have the Immigration Detention Center in Aripo, Piaco International Airport, Piaco, ANR Robinson International Airport, Crown Point, Tobago. We also operate at all the seaports, including the Port of Port of Spain, Chagaramas, San Fernando, Point Lisas, Point de Pierre, Point Fortin, Cedros, Scarborough, Charlottesville, quite a lot.
Wow.
Passport applications can be submitted at our offices in Port of Spain, San Fernando, Point Fortin, Chaguanas, Sangre Grande, and Tobago. Therefore, access to our services is convenient because of our strategically located offices.
And have you found that people are happy with the decentralized nature of the business, so that you have just as many people applying in Tobago or in Chaguanas as you do in Port of Spain, or is there like a main, Port of Spain is the main hub?
Port of Spain is the main hub, also Grande, San Fernando, Chaguanas, we have a number of persons, or a higher number of persons submitting applications at those centers.
Right. So that anywhere, air and seaports now, anywhere people well, just people, right? You all deal with people, not necessarily goods, right?
Yes.
Anywhere that that people enter and leave the country is where
we can find an immigration presence.
Presence there. Excellent. I think we can take a short break, and when we come back, we will dive a little deeper into what the immigration division does, the role of the officers when you meet them, and what services they provide for nationals residing overseas as well, because that is an interesting aspect of what they do, as well as providing services to citizens and residents of Trinidad and Tobago. So after this short break, we will return with Officers Craigwell and Persad from the Immigration Division.
Finally, Welcome Relief comes in the form of a scientific-based program that shows us how to manage through the tough, current challenges. Called Habitalism. It features best-selling author on positivity and happiness, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, integrated with the award-winning Intangence methodology of Ross. Visit habitalism.me to register now for this free life-transforming program endorsed by the United Nations established University for Peace. Gifted by Guardian Group. Live easy.
Freedom means I can choose where I work, who I work for. I can also choose what I say and to whom. Sadly, many persons in the world do not have this freedom of speech, freedom of choice, and freedom of expression. We at the Counter-Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security pledge to continue to raise awareness about human trafficking using social media among our local and migrant community in Trinidad and Tobago. Tomaremos la acción de comprometer a usar las redes sociales para crear conciencia sobre la trata de personas en Trinidad y Tobago.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And stream.
Right, thank you for staying with us, folks. You're listening to Dependency right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have our Immigration Division officials with us this morning, and the Acting Deputy Chief Immigration Officers Derek Craigwell and Ms. Vera Persad. And we say once again good morning to Ms. Charmaine Gandhi Andrews, who actually is the first female Chief Immigration Officer we have in Trinidad and Tobago. There's a first for women again. So congratulations, thank you, ma'am, for allowing us this opportunity. And of course, as you saw, we had some feature from the Francis Institute. We will tell you more about that later on. Our first installment there from Ms. Alana Wheeler, Director of the Counter Trafficking Unit. So, ladies and gents, what actually is the role? What does the Immigration Division do?
Well, I'm sure many persons will be surprised at the number of services we provide. And they include passport services for Trinidad and Tobago nationals, processing of student permits, approval of visas and visa waivers, granting of extensions of state and non-nationals, granting of certificates of immigration status, clearing of visas on arrival and departure, and processing of crew members and passengers, conducting interviews and preparing reports for permanent residence and citizenship, detention or deportation of immigrants and prosecution for breaches of the immigration laws, provision of immigrated-related consular services at Trinidad and Tobago missions and consular corps abroad. So that's the wide range we provide.
Okay.
And as the image on your screen, for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, this is the ministry's website, where the Immigration Division, of course, has a page. And if you scroll down on that page, you will see a list of all of the functions of the division. And this is nationalsecurity.gov.tt. That's where you can find the website of the Ministry of National Security and more information about the Immigration Division.
Right. And what is the role of immigration officers in Trinidad and Tobago? Because I didn't know you all had, you just spoke of the enforcement unit. I didn't know you all had an enforcement. You could probably include that in the response to this question here. What is the role of immigration officers in Trinidad and Tobago?
In the context of law enforcement and border control, the Immigration Division has a pivotal role in the crime prevention arsenal in the network of the national security agencies by way of monitoring and controlling the flow of persons into and out of the country. Under Section 12 of the Immigration Act of Trinidad and Tobago, of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, duly appointed immigration officers have the authority and power to enforce any provision of the Immigration Act, the immigration regulations, or any order lawfully made under the Act or the regulations relating to the arrest, detention, deportation of any person except citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
So that you have the power of arrest under the Act or detention, or is it that when one runs afoul of the immigration law, what happens?
Well, that is where the enforcement unit come into play, because you have run afoul of you have breached the regulations of the Immigration Division. They are the officers who will, along with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, arrest, detain, and make recommendations for the deportation of any person except citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. And do you work alongside the police in the enforcement aspect or the prosecution of persons, or can you give us an example of some of the ways that persons may breach the law? Something that, a common example of immigration law violations.
Well, one of the more common examples is people who have overstayed their entry certificates, people who have come in at a legal port of entry, they were given a specific time limit to stay within the country, and for one reason or another, they do not apply for an extension if they're staying beyond that period of time, and they just simply overstay. There are also persons who, when they may have come in on a specific purpose of visit, and for some reason or another, they have tended to do other things, like if one comes in for vacation, and during that time, they end up working without the necessary authorization to work. That is where we, at the enforcement unit, will do our duty, and we would process those persons, and if need be, we will have what is called a special inquiry, where the person is put before a special inquiry officer to determine whether they are deportable or not, and if they're found to be in breach of the immigration law and guilty, then they are subject to deportation.
So I guess the enforcement unit is similar or equivalent to the ICE unit in the United States. Is it? Is it that strong?
It is. There are some similarities between both.
Right. Okay.
Especially we're dealing with persons to be deported.
Right.
Now, being an immigration officer is arduous task. What is a day in the life of an immigration officer generally look like? I know this is off the question list, but I just wanted to get a sense of what are some of the things that immigration officers do on a daily basis.
It's challenging each day, and we attend to members of the public coming into the office with different issues. Some of them, again, may be seeking appointments for the services that we provide. The appointments may be delayed. We have to, sort of mitigate their opinions. They may be angry with us. Yes, yeah. But we have issues throughout the day that takes up our time, and
dealing with people can be a challenge. No, I know. So you're public facing division. So a lot of what you do involves, dealing with people.
You have to remember. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But you have to remember the immigration officer is also, while he or she performs the immigration duties, they are also ambassadors for the country, because they are the first person you meet at the port of entry. So we, as opposed to also be a welcoming person, we also promote tourism in this country as well. So that, by our welcome, by the way people are treated, first impressions, unfortunately, first impressions do last.
Of course. And Natasha and I have had reasons to question sometimes, although we come in somewhere in the wee hours of the morning, or it's sometimes but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm seeing you all posting questions on Facebook. There's a department that will take note of the questions. I saw a couple already, so we will have the officers here elaborate on it as we go forward, right? So elaborate on the,
what is the Immigration Division's role as it relates to services provided to nationals residing in TNT as well as citizens residing overseas? What kind of services do you offer to both groups?
Nationals residing in TNT or overseas can apply for travel documents, which includes passports and emergency certificates, but we'll elaborate on this as we go later into the program. We also provide certificates of immigration status and records of travel into and out of Trinidad and Tobago. So later on we will explain on the divisions that require that information. We'll mention that later.
Okay.
But I think also importantly, we should mention that the services are provided at the High Commission in London, the embassies located in Washington, USA, China, Beijing, and Caracas. and the Trinidad and Tobago consulates in the U.S. and in the U.S., Miami and New York, and in Toronto, Canada. Those are our foreign missions.
We had an image up. Shobhan, could you put back up that image, please? We had an image here with some packages, TT Post packages. Could you explain that a bit, folks? On radio, what you're seeing, or what we're showing is an image of Mr. Young as National Security Minister.
This was at the launch of the passport delivery service. Now, this is something that persons who apply for visas to other countries will be relatively familiar with, in terms of submitting your application and receiving your passport in the mail. But we do have a passport delivery service in Trinidad and Tobago now, and this was
that later. Yes.
Yeah. No, well, we could do it now. Could you tell us about this particular service, when it was launched, and what was the impetus behind it?
The delivery of completed passports are facilitated in collaboration with TT Post via a TrackPack courier service. This collaborative initiative came into effect on September 20, 2020, following a launch on September 22nd, 2020. The initiative under the theme Safe and Easy Passport Delivery with TT Post is a collaboration between the Trinidad and Tobago Immigration Division and the Trinidad and Tobago Postal Corporation, established under a MOU signed in August 2020. The collaboration means applicants will receive their passports delivered to their door. TT Post, via its courier service, will deliver the passport to the address indicated on the applicant's self-addressed TrackPack. If the passport cannot be received by the applicant or authorized representative, after 2 attempts to deliver it, the package will be returned to the Immigration Division and the applicant notified to collect it at the Immigration Division head office, Government Campus Plaza.
I was about to let you all know that I have seen a difference. I must say, especially at Frederick Street office.
Yes.
With the interaction with the officers there and the public, and it's smooth and very efficient now. I must say that. Before we used to be pulling your hair out, I must admit, but something changed. And even the interaction, and you know me, Natasha, with customer service.
Yes,
I'm really serious about that. And I must hand it to your employees at the office on Frederick Street.
Yes.
Yeah, the staff there, they really, really go out of their way to even ignore the errant customer. And you all have a dress code, of course.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I must thank you, Mr. Sinclair, because at the Immigration Division, we put a lot of effort into customer service, and I'm glad to hear that the rewards are being seen by the members of the public.
No, it's true. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me.
One of our achievements.
Yeah.
And if you have, we haven't had the pleasure of using the passport delivery service yet, but if you have used the service, for those of you who are tuned in, please let us know how it went. And we have a short video that we wanted to share. Short man, you can play that video. This is from TT Post, and it explains how you go about applying for your passport using the service.
Okay, so those of you on radio can listen.
Are you applying for a new or renewal Trinidad and Tobago passport? TT Post Courier Service is here to provide secure door-to-door delivery to your home, work, or address of choice. Here's how it works. Schedule your appointment at www.ttpassport.info. Go into any of our TT Post locations to purchase one A5 TrackPack per passport. At your appointment, please ensure you walk with your self-addressed TrackPack and all of the required documentation outlined on the Immigration Division's website. Don't forget to walk with your third-party authorization form authorizing TT Post to collect your passport on your behalf. And it is as easy as that.
So that very short video was produced by TT Post, and it is a reflection of the collaboration that they now have with the Immigration Division to make the application for new and renewed passports a little easier, a little more efficient and convenient for you, so you don't have to, find a park and go into the office and collect it. So it will come to you.
Immigration has moved from Frederick Street to Richmond Street.
Yes, the passport section has moved from Frederick Street to Richmond Street, so that it's a comfort for where we are under one roof to provide all services in Port of Spain, except for the enforcement unit, which is on Henry Street. But other immigration services, passport, extensions, application for visas, student permits are all under the head office at Government Campus building.
Great.
All under one roof. Excellent. And we have some congratulations for you that someone used the passport service. It was perfect. Another one says, my wife used the delivery service. It was excellent. And yeah.
Remember, you can join us on Facebook or YouTube. I see we have some questions on YouTube. We'll get to in a while. Shopman, could you just show that video again for those of you who just joining us? Please, could you apply for passport video? Could you just show that one more time? It's just a few seconds, so we could go through that again before we continue.
Are you applying for a new or renewal Trinidad and Tobago passport? TT Post Courier Service is here to provide secure door-to-door delivery to your home, work, or address of choice. Here's how it works. Schedule your appointment at www.ttpassport.info. Go into any of our TT Post locations to purchase one A5 track pack per passport. At your appointment, please ensure you walk with your self-addressed track pack and all of the required documentation outlined on the Immigration Division's website. Don't forget to walk with your third-party authorization form authorizing TT Post to collect your passport on your behalf. And it is as easy as that.
There you have it. You wanted to elaborate, Ms. Persad,
on the passport services.
Right.
So I need to inform that the previous telephone system 225-4664, which was utilized for the booking of passport appointments, was discontinued in 2020. Passport appointments have since been facilitated online via the website www.ttpassport.info. Therefore, nationals seeking an appointment to apply for first time or first issue machine readable passport or for renewal, they all required to book their appointments online. And I want to speak about the costs a little bit. The related costs, as listed in our 7th schedule of the immigration regulations, are as follows. Regular type passport, $250. The special 48-page costs $350. Replacement of a valid lost passport, $1,000. Replacement of a mutilated passport, $1,000. And be reminded that 60 years and older,
no
under 2 years old,
yes,
and no charge.
I got you inside.
Pardon me for smoking just
now. Yes, senior citizens rejoice.
I saw you look at Gary's face just so when Ms. Persad called out the price. That's why I didn't mean to laugh there. Sorry, but Gary, you have a real
and a passport is an important document, so we can't expect that that you pay $20. This is an important document. Is one of the key documents that any person
your life.
need. Of course, because if it is lost or stolen or damaged in any way, it might impact on your ability to travel. So, God, when you're ready to renew your passport, you're good.
Yeah, well, that was so refreshing when I went to renew my license. But that's another story. When you get to me, no, you don't have to pay. So you made your contribution to society. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency right here on 95.5 FM, live on the Independence Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have in studio Acting Deputy Chief Immigration Officers Derek Craigwell and Ms. Vera Persad. And they are taking us through the steps and pieces of the Immigration Division. We're going to take a quick break. And when we return...
Before we do that, I just wanted the officers to image H. Shortman. It just is a little flyer that talks about how to address your track pack. Could you run through that?
Right, yes.
quickly.
Important.
It's how to properly address your TT Post track pack, because that is that may be a little confusing for some people.
It's a video.
No, it's just it's just an image that we got. That says you have to include the company name, if applicable, the address, the street name and number, the floor number, apartment number, or light pole number. A phone number is important to call if the address cannot be found, if the TT Post cannot deliver it to that address. Attention, so a contact person or designation is required on the track pack. City, town, or localities, for example, Port of Spain, Arima, or Kelly Village. Complete sender address details must be included on the reverse of the track pack. This is to ensure that your very important passport document gets to you, to where it should be, i.e. the person whose name is on the track pack. Place the item or documents into the track pack and seal the flap and remove the customer copy barcoded sticker. This is to be retained by the sender, as the unique barcode can be used for tracking the item. So in addition to the convenience of having it delivered to you, the Immigration Division and TT Post would like to be able to track the package as it is on its way from the Immigration Division to your home, so that they can ensure that, one, it gets to you in a timely fashion, and if for some reason it doesn't, they can identify it and make sure it gets to you.
Yes, in other words, a detailed address must be placed on the track pack.
Not just, Oho Road anywhere.
Yeah.
A complete address.
Because remember, the track pack is carrying a very important document, passport, and sometimes even your previously cancelled passport. So.
Yep.
Okay.
So you have to. So a proper the track pack need to be properly addressed, and with everything, with the particular address, so that that it can reach to you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to that quick break.
Yep.
We have and we'll be back. Stay right there, folks. We have lots more for you. Stay right there, and I'm seeing the questions keep coming in on Facebook page. So we'll see how many of that we can get. We'll be back. Stay right there.
My Freedom Day. We shouldn't have to.
Project is and how we can raise awareness about human trafficking and how we can work together to end this crime.
Finally, Welcome Relief comes in the form of a scientific-based program that shows us how to manage through the tough, current challenges. Called Habitalism. It features best-selling author on positivity and happiness, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, integrated with the award-winning Intangents methodology of Ross. Visit habitalism.me to register now for this free life-transforming program endorsed by the United Nations established University for Peace. Gifted by Guardian Group. Live easy.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and we have two Acting Deputy Chief Immigration Officers Craigwell and Persad with us this morning, who are telling us all about the work that is done at the Immigration Division. Now, Ms. Persad, you had two other services that you wanted to talk about.
Right. So to the Venezuelan couple, could you just answer them quick? Who has the child here in Trinidad and Tobago? Wants the child, Mr. Craigwell?
The child can apply for Trinidad and Tobago passport, being a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago by birth.
Good.
Born in Trinidad and Tobago.
Lovely.
The child is entitled to a passport.
Lovely. Ms. Persad?
Yes, another service offered by the Immigration Division is the issuance of Certificate of Immigration Status. A Certificate of Immigration Status can be issued to a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago by descent or to a person who holds permanent resident status in Trinidad and Tobago as determined by the Chief Immigration Officer in accordance with the provisions of Section 5 of the Immigration Act, Chapter 1801. Certificates of immigration status cost $200 for non-CARICOM persons, $100 for CARICOM national. Non-nationals may also apply for student permits at a cost of $200 for non-CARICOM members again. Non-CARICOM nationals, $100 for CARICOM nationals. We provide a service of extension of stay in Trinidad and Tobago that the cost for non-CARICOM nationals $100, CARICOM nationals $50. So, and for persons requesting an extension of stay, the contact email address is extensions.caricom@gov.tt and extensions.international@gov.tt. We'll repeat this information towards the end.
Yes, and we do have a contact info slide at the end as well that we can share. So what are, moving on with the question, what are some of these specific immigration services that are offered at Trinidad and Tobago missions abroad?
And I'm sure you would have lots of missions abroad to deal with.
Services offered to our overseas missions are issuing of passports to Trinidad and Tobago citizens, issuing of emergency certificates to citizens and residents to facilitate their return to Trinidad and Tobago, processing applications for and issuing visas to non-nationals who wish to enter Trinidad and Tobago. In special circumstances, by request, interviews for permanent residence and citizenship can be conducted at the missions by an immigration officer. However, the applications for permanent residency and citizenship are submitted to the Ministry of National Security.
Okay.
Immigration officers also interview and accept applications for restoration and renunciation of citizenship. These applications are then forwarded to the Immigration Head Office to the Ministry of National Security for approval.
All right. So now we're going to the CARICOM CSME, Single Market and Economy. How do immigration officials assist in facilitating the movement of persons within the CARICOM CSME?
The Immigration Division facilitates in the movement of skilled labor and the establishment of businesses to the CARICOM single market and economy. The Immigration Division has a representative on a committee chaired by a representative from the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, whose responsibility it is for the issuance of skills certificates to nationals and to foreigners who apply for skill certificates to work in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Along with the Immigration Division, the committee is also made up of representatives from the Ministry of Education, the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts. At the end of the meeting, applications for skill certificates are submitted with recommendations for approval to the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. Categories of persons so far who can apply for the skill certificate are university graduates, media workers, sports persons, musicians, and artists. There's also those who want to establish business in Trinidad and Tobago, and they can apply under the right of establishment. These are for persons wishing to establish a business in Trinidad and Tobago. An immigration officer also sits on a committee chaired by a representative from the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. This committee includes representatives from the Work Permit Secretariat of the Ministry of National Security, the Board of Inland Revenue, National Training Agency, Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Services Industries, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and Ministry of Labor. This committee reviews applications to establish businesses in this country and recommends the grant of work permit exemptions to the successful applicant to be approved by the Minister, the Honorable Minister.
Right. No. You'll have, of course, I'm sure you will have had, and if you're just joining us, folks, you're listening to Dependency, of course, and we have immigration officers, acting Deputy Chief Immigration Officers, Derek Craigwell and Ms. Vera Persad, and I see you all have lots of questions, and I hope they will be able to answer all of them before they leave this morning. Now, you all have had some achievements, I'm sure. Tell us about the achievements. Show off a little bit. Let's hear some of your achievements.
Of course, we've had, to begin with, there was an upgrade of the border management system from what is referred to as first generation platform to a fourth generation renamed border control management system. The upgrade commenced in April 2020 and ended just a few months later in June 2020.
Okay.
The benefit we achieved from that is we now have a fully integrated management system linking the border with the passport, e-visa, and permit systems, thus providing a more prompt and efficient service and added assistance in preventing identity thefts. We also benefited from an improved passport production time frame, reducing from when it took months to obtain a passport to approximately 2 weeks at present. So this is an achievement we are proud of.
Of course, I'm sure. Yes.
As mentioned before, we also relocated from the former Frederick Street Passport Office in April 2020 to the Government Campus Plaza Office. The benefit we achieve from that is convenience to members of the public as we now provide a range of services under one roof.
Now, I'm sure you all will have done collaborations as well. Now, how does the Immigration Division work alongside its stakeholders, especially in law enforcement and the health sector? How those collaborations?
Well, the Immigration Division works closely alongside with both state, non-state, and private organizations in law enforcement and the health sector to treat with matters of non-nationals as well as share data upon request. Some of the stakeholders include the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, the Counter-Trafficking Unit, the Customs and Excise Division, Ministry of Finance, the Airports Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Ministry of Works and Transport, Ministry of Health. We work alongside with Port Health officers in the context of mitigating the spread of COVID-19. We work along with the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Ministry of Trade and Industry, the Ministry of Planning and Development, the Shipping and Airline Associations of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Social Development, the Central Statistical Office for statistics dealing with migration trends and policy planning, the University of West Indies and the University of Trinidad and Tobago, the International Organization for Migration, the International Development Bank, InvestTT, and several United Nations organizations.
Wow.
That's a long list.
You all are constantly in meetings.
Yes, that's how it usually goes. Every day.
I mean, from that list alone, you could tell.
And that wasn't an exhaustive list. There may be agencies that we may not have mentioned as well, but those are as I say, that tells you the scope of our involvement with these agencies.
Now, if someone wants to become an immigration officer now, let's say someone listening and they want to become an immigration officer, what are how do they go about that?
Well, the Immigration Officer 1, which is the lowest rank of the Immigration Division, the recruitment process is done as in the public service, by the Service Commissions Department.
Right.
It is only done upon application, advertisement of the post by the Service Commissions Department.
Okay, that is published?
It is published, and I suppose it's also announced in the media when such an advertisement is made.
I was about to ask that if you have it on running on this radio station
well, that is solely the responsibility of the Service Commissions Department.
Okay, understood.
So you have to go through the like a regular public officer.
It's a post in the public service.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, folks, remember you can join us on YouTube and Facebook as well. I see you all are lining up really fast. You all have lots of questions for these folks, I can see.
Yeah.
Now, if the public wants to get in touch with the Immigration Division, how do we do that?
We have several ways of doing that.
Yes, we have our telephone system 225-4664. We can be contacted through that number.
To repeat that again?
225-4664.
Right. 225-4664, folks. Remember that number. Natasha will put it on the chat as well.
And we have a number of email addresses.
Yes, we have a slide up here with all of the email addresses for general inquiries, passport services, extension of stay services for CARICOM nationals and for nationals of all other countries, an email address for visas and visa waivers, and as well an email address for Venezuelan migrant registration. Is that, I know this is not one of the questions, but is that registration process ongoing? Are you still liaising with the migrants, and how is that going?
Yes, we are still liaising with them. I want to mention that we have a number of challenges in reaching out to some of them, though, because the information that they submitted to us most times were incorrect.
Or has changed, maybe, yeah.
So I'm unable to reach them via the telephone numbers provided.
Right.
And it stands to reason, too, that if, let's say we have a couple here illegal, they have a child here or two, how does that work for them? If they cannot apply for, obviously, but you tell her, if they're here illegally. I guess
they simply have no status.
Right, so simple as that.
All right, I want to go through some of the questions on Facebook before we wrap up with you guys, if you don't mind. One person asked, why does it take so long for the processing of residential status? I am now in my 13th year with no idea when this will be completed. What is the process for applying for residency? And
applications are submitted for permanent residence and citizenship at the Ministry of National Security.
Okay, good.
Their documents are submitted there, and copies are forwarded to the Immigration Division to arrange an interview, and followed by a report which will be prepared and then resubmitted to the Ministry of National Security. The report will be forwarded to the Ministry of National Security.
Okay.
Natasha, let's take a quick break. And Shoban, let's go to a break quick and we'll come back. Stay right there, folks.
Finally, Welcome Relief comes in the form of a scientific-based program that shows us how to manage through the tough, current challenges. Called Habitalism. It features best-selling author on positivity and happiness, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, integrated with the award-winning Intangence methodology of Ross. Visit habitalism.me to register now for this free life-transforming program endorsed by the United Nations established University for Peace. Gifted by Guardian Group. Live easy.
You would think that it is a far-fetched happening, but it happens right here, anywhere, right in your neighborhood, by your doorstep. It could be your father, your uncle, your neighbor, even your mother, grandpa, friend, trafficked. Well, I mean no vehicle. Heinous crimes performed by sick minds on unsuspecting people. Poor souls with their lives and smiles snuffed away, haunted by memories of imprisonment by seductive figures. Beasts who keep them wrapped, bound, and hard to be found, daily held down by mental scars of being forced to work, as if in the 1850s. Boys, girls, men and ladies working themselves to the bone, wondering if they are totally forgotten. It is not just the victims that are damaged. Families and friends are also ravaged. Parents left feeling as if they have lost a piece of them. I remember being passed around and sold to varying ages, young and old, waiting for my number to be called as if I was some sort of object. They forced me to consume drugs that I could not reject. Physically broken and used to the point of numbness. The emotional toll becoming too much for me to bear. Because even long after my rescue, the psychological repercussions reverberate through my soul. But a new life awaits. Through all the hardship and trauma, I rise, receiving a prize that is freedom, free of the reflection of my defiled body that seemed to always stare, firmly moving past my life of sorrow with no fear. Why fear? I've risen and believed, leaving my soul to smile again. I now live to experience life again.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on 95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
All right, folks, thank you once again for staying with us. And we jump right into it as we wrap up with this segment of the interview. You wanted to explain about
the issuing of the minister's program,
yes.
permits to
yes. Could you speak
migrants.
To that?
Sure. By legal notice number 53, signed by the Minister of National Security on February 9, 2022, and published in the Gazette on March 1st, 2022, an extension of stay to the 31st of December 2022 will be granted to qualifying Venezuelan nationals. That is, Venezuelan nationals in Trinidad and Tobago who re-registered during the re-registration exercise conducted from March 3rd, 2021 to April 9, 2021 to December 31st, 2022.
Right, so the process or the permit will be extended to 31st December 2022, but only to those migrants who re-registered during that process last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And for any further information or queries on this matter, people can email the immigration at the email address immigration.vmrf@gov.tt.
Can you say that again, please, sir?
The email address is at immigration.vmrf@gov.tt.
All right. And well, someone is listening from in Miami. And the 2254664 number, said I'm trying it, and is there any other number that can be afforded to people, to nationals living overseas? Or they just have to keep trying?
The email address is through the email address provided might be easier to contact.
All right. So
right, so we just put back up that slide with the email addresses so you can.
But the
person in Miami can also consult the Trinidad and Tobago consulate in Miami if they have any issues. They can also be of help.
Right. Well, and to who this was, I don't know, but I just got a message here. So what I will do, I'll screenshot the one with the telephone and the email addresses, so that you can send that you can send your emails to these email addresses here, your queries to these addresses here, and they are normally people respond once you send emails.
Yes.
You get that response,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Well, folks, this was, I'm sure, and Ms. Persad, you said you will go back to our Facebook page and answer some of the questions that
yes, that will
be posted. Yes. Mr. Craigwell will do the same.
Yes.
You'll have plenty of questions.
But it shows you the importance of the immigration division.
Yes, and that's cool. And thank you, people, for posting your questions. And as you heard, Mr. Persad and Mr. Craigwell said they will visit our Facebook page and Dependency and YouTube channel and answer the questions for you. That's their promise, and they will do it. All right, so folks, this was wonderful. Thank you. Any closing remarks that you have for the public?
I hope the information we provided today, will be of some assistance to many persons outside there who may not have been, as I said before, familiar with the many services we provide.
Yes.
And we are looking forward to hearing from them.
Lovely.
Yes.
Well, again, I thank the Dependency program for showcasing the immigration division. I hope the information provided will be of some help. People get to know the immigration division a lot better, and that, as promised, we will try to answer as many questions on your Facebook page as possible.
Lovely.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're most welcome. And before, Shortman, we go back to the last promo block, and featuring young Johan Barrington, student of St. Anthony's, and this was one of the that CNN had posted on their social media page too. So we'll go to that break as we bid our guests farewell, and good luck and continued success with the Immigration Division. You're all doing a great job.
Thank you.
I thank you very much.
Yes,
and we are, as the Immigration Division, tries to please our stakeholders as best as we can. Yes. And we are thankful for the positive comments. We are also thankful for the negative comments, but we always try to improve our customer service and how we provide services to members of the public.
Lovely. And keep up the customer service, especially. Keep that up, folks. Keep that up. That's real. That's most welcome. You walk into somewhere, somebody behind the counter is all smiles and willing to help, and you could ask them 1,000 questions, they're willing to answer. In some places here, you just have 2 questions. And the third one, you start getting the attitude. Immigration Division leading the way so far as far as I'm concerned, so keep it up. Shamin Gandhi Andrews, and the rest of the crew, and Jerome Ramdullah.
Yes.
Our boy Jerome.
Yes, our boy Jerome.
Yes. Good morning to you, Jerome, wherever you are. Good man, that
great example of the partnership with immigration and other agencies.
Yes, because he was a corner trafficking for a while and did an excellent job.
Yep.
Excellent job. No nonsense guy. Really love him. Take care, folks. Have a good one.
Thank you all again.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You would think that it is a far-fetched happening, but it happens right here, anywhere, right in your neighborhood, by your doorstep. It could be your father, your uncle, your neighbor, even your mother, grandpa, friend, traffic. Well, I mean no vehicle. Heinous crimes performed by sick minds on unsuspecting people. Poor souls with their lives and smiles snuffed away, haunted by memories of imprisonment by seductive figures. Beasts who keep them wrapped, bound, and hard to be found, daily held down by mental scars of being forced to work, as if in the 1850s. Boys, girls, men and ladies working themselves to the bone, wondering if they are totally forgotten. It is not just the victims that are damaged. Families and friends are also ravaged. Parents left feeling as if they have lost a piece of them. I remember being passed around and sold to varying ages, young and old, waiting for my number to be called as if I was some sort of object. They forced me to consume drugs that I could not reject. Physically broken and used to the point of numbness. The emotional toll becoming too much for me to bear. Because even long after my rescue, the psychological repercussions reverberate through my soul. But a new life awaits. Through all the hardship and trauma, I rise, receiving a prize that is freedom, free of the reflection of my defiled body that seemed to always stare, firmly moving past my life of sorrow with no fear. Why fear? I've risen and believed, leaving my soul to smile again. I now live to experience life again.
Finally, Welcome Relief comes in the form of a scientific-based program that shows us how to manage through the tough, current challenges. Called Habitalism. It features best-selling Activity and Happiness. Dr. Al Ben Shahar, integrated with the award-winning Intangents methodology of Ross. Visit habitalism.me to register now for this free life-transforming program endorsed by the United Nations established University for Peace. Gifted by Guardian Group. Live easy.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Thank you for staying with us. You're listening to Dependency right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. Now we go to very important division as well, at the Acting Administrative Officer 2 at the head of Work Permit Section, the Ministry of National Security. None other than Natasha Sudeen-Lewis. We welcome her. She's joining us via video. And of course, we still have Mr. Craigwell and Persad in studio, and Ms. Persad in studio with us. So they're going to keep your company for a little while longer. But we'll cross to Ms. Natasha Sudeen-Lewis now. Good morning, Natasha. The Work Permit Section is a key service office in the Ministry of National Security. It is responsible for the processing of all work permits. work permit exemptions, and minister's permits for non-nationals who wish to work in Trinidad and Tobago. With that being said, we welcome Natasha Sudeen-Lewis. Good morning, ma'am. Hello?
Are you hearing us, Natasha?
Are you hearing us? Your microphone is muted or unmuted. I think I'm here. Right, so you're waiting to get that technical part of it sorted out with Mrs. Natasha Sudeen-Lewis?
Good morning.
There she is.
There you go.
Good morning,
Are you hearing
everyone.
us?
I was waiting for IT person to let me know.
Oh, she's in the office. You're in the office, Miss Lewis?
Yeah, yes, I am.
All right. Oh, well, so you're hearing us then. Good.
Right.
Welcome again.
Welcome again. So I mean, before you even got here, people started asking questions that falls in your garden. So, but let's start by explaining to the public what is a work permit.
Well, a work permit is a legal document that is issued to non-nationals to be able to work legally.
Right. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Right. Lost it here for a bit. Right. And
You want to repeat?
yes, could you repeat that, please?
Okay, what I said is that a work permit is a legal document which allows the person, a non-national, to be able to work in a foreign country legally.
Right. Short and sweet. Now, what does the work permit section? What does that section do?
What we do several, different duties. Here we process work permit applications, we do work permit exemptions, and we process ministers' permits. There are numerous roles within the unit. We issue work permits both to individuals and groups.
Okay.
Individual applications, we consider 1 to 9 applications as an individual application, and we do groups from numbers 10 and up is what we consider groups. Group applications, we would receive those from like construction companies, the oil sector, and so. We also process work permit exemptions. These are like from the NGOs, for example, the Red Cross, Cancer Society. We process exemptions for persons who pass through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Protocol Division, for example, the UN, the embassies, the High Commission. We process ministers' permits, which is at the discretion of the Minister of National Security only. Persons petition the minister in writing. It will be considered by the minister based on the reason for the request, and it depends on what the minister decides. That's why the outcome will be from the minister's permit. We process cancellations, we process letters of denial and approvals, deals with our stakeholders. For example, the Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Energy, Trade, the THE, and our counterpart Immigration Division as well. We are Immigration and the Work Permit Unit, part of the Ministry of National Security.
All right. So, and now you have a clientele, of course, and who is the clientele served by the work permit section, and what are, the most common nationalities that apply for work permit in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, our clientele really is like privately registered organizations, like for example BHP, Billiton. We have government institutions, Ministry of Health, the health authorities, and we have those are the NGOs, and we have householders, those are the persons who apply for ministers' goods. That's mainly our clientele. The most common nationalities who apply for work permit are the Chinese, the Americans, the Indians, and the Filipinos. They are top of the list.
Could you describe for us the application process for a work permit? Is there do you need an appointment? How do you apply for an appointment? Is it done in person or online? And what documents need to be provided?
Sure. Currently, the Secretariat has reopened to the public. So there are no appointments needed to come into us. However, we can be reached via telephone and via email. You all would have those links, the email links, yes?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and our telephone contact is 623-2441, extension 13000, all the way to 13010. All applications are submitted online. We no longer accept applications over the counter. So the online process is that you need to register with the TT Connect service, where you'll be issued a TT BizLink account, and all applications are submitted online, both individual and group applications. You are supposed to have those two links as well?
Yes, I believe we do. In one of the final slides, the contact information.
Okay.
And how long does the application take from the time it's submitted online to the granting of the work permit, and what are some of the challenges that can delay this process?
Okay, well, firstly, I would need to give you the process, which is the documents and so on.
Right.
What documents must be provided before I move on to that, right?
Yep. Yep.
So we have a cover letter, which is one of the first documents that must be submitted. The cover letter is really needed for justification as to why a work permit is needed for a non-national and the position not be available for a national. There must be proper justification for that. There's the application form, which must be filled out and signed by both the employer and the employee. We need 2 character references, no older than 6 months. We need a copy of the passport biodata page and the last immigration stamp. We need police certificates, no older than 6 months. For persons who have resided in countries during the last 5 years, we also need police certificate, no older than 6 months from those countries as well. We have persons who they must show proof of their qualifications. For example, you submit your resume and you have certificates that you would have attached, so you must show proof of qualifications. The certificates that need translation must be notarized and translated by, we have 3 institutions used here, Nehurst, Costat, and UWI. We need a passport picture. We need an advertisement and proof of that advertisement. It's the ad supposed to be in the newspaper for 7 days. And we also need persons to, at the end of completing the form, there's a fee that needs to be paid, which is a $600 application fee, which is paid at our cashier located at 5260 Amherst Street. We accept check, a certified check, and cash only. There are no links. There's no links. That facility has not been up yet. For group applications, there's a little bit of a difference when you submit group applications. The group, we must have a separate cover letter, but the name of the company, the address of the company also must be included, a brief description of the company's activities. We must have a registration, a contract. We must have also the police certificates and the passport biodata pages. Group applications is a little bit different from the individuals, but it's basically the same thing. The application fee remains the same. Our application process takes 6 weeks. However, the challenges faced in that process is that some persons submit incomplete application forms. So there are queries. When those queries arise, if the person, the applicant, their delay in submitting the documents would further delay the investigation by the committee members. So those are the challenges that we face with the process. Yes. Recently, because of COVID, we had where the police stations they had stopped doing fingerprints, so police certificates. There was a delay in that process, and the tax clearance certificates from Inland Revenue. There's also a delay in that process as well, which delayed the applications and the process.
Natasha Sudeen-Lewis.
Yes?
So before you go on, just some folks from Rio Claro just sent to say hello. You're a country girl too, I see. So you said your family from Rio Claro. We're looking on and sending a shout out to you. We are very proud of you, as they said. And so that should just wanted to relax a bit now. All right, so
I still sound